There is something already in your pantry right now that costs about $1, and it will out-trap any $20 bottle on the store shelf. It is not a chemical. It is not a gadget. It is not anything with a brand name. Your great-grandmother kept it on the windowsill every summer, and almost nobody under 60 still remembers why. My name is Elvis Yoda. I'm 68 years old, and I have kept house and garden the old way my whole life. I live on 3 acres at the end of a dirt road, in a farmhouse my grandfather raised in 1931. The same kitchen window has looked out over the same barn for 90 years. And in all those summers, and a working farm in July draws flies like nothing you've seen, I have never once bought a fly trap off a shelf. Not one. By the time you finish this video, you'll know exactly what I put on that windowsill instead, why it works, and what it costs. Stay with me. Let me describe your summer, and you tell me if I'm wrong. You wipe the counter clean. You take out the trash. And within the hour, there are 2 or 3 flies tracing slow circles over the fruit bowl. You wave them off. They come back. You buy the spray, the strip, the bottle that hangs by the back door. For a few days, it seems to help. Then it doesn't. Here's the part most people never stop to notice. You're not seeing a fly problem. You're seeing a fly symptom. The 2 or 3 you can see are the smallest possible piece of what's actually there. A fly lives about a month, and in that month, a single female lays around 500 eggs. So the ones bothering you today are not your enemy. They're a progress report. They are telling you something is feeding the next batch somewhere you haven't looked. And no $20 bottle on earth was designed to tell you that. It was designed to be repurchased. We'll come back to that. So let me stop teasing and tell you what it is, because you've earned it. It is a saucer of warm milk, sugar, and ground black pepper. That's the whole thing. 3 pantry items, about $1, sitting in a dish. Now I know how that sounds. Too simple to beat a $20 bottle. And that is exactly where almost everybody goes wrong. Because I went wrong the very same way for the first 40 years of my life. When a fly bothers you, your instinct is to kill the one in front of you. So you reach for something that sprays, or snaps, or zaps. Modern pest control is built entirely around that instinct. Kill the visible fly. Sell you the tool that kills the visible fly. Sell you another one next month when the visible flies come back. But think about what that bottle is actually doing, because it just waits for a fly to land on it, or fly near it, or get sprayed by you directly. It is reactive. It sits there hoping the fly makes a mistake. Most flies never do. They feed, they breed, and they're gone before the chemical ever touches them. The old way did the opposite. It did not wait. It did not hope. It invited. Your great-grandmother didn't try to chase flies away from her food. She gave them something they wanted more than your food, in a spot she chose, away from where the family ate. The flies came to her, willingly by the hundred. That is the whole difference. A modern trap is a wall. The old trap is a door the fly walks through on its own. And here is the question I want you to hold on to, because the answer is the entire video. Why would a fly choose a cheap dish on the windowsill over the food on your table? It seems backwards. The food on your table is right there. The answer has to do with what a fly can actually smell, and how little it takes to beat your kitchen at its own game. I'll explain exactly how in just a minute. Hold that thought. Because once you understand that one thing, you will never look at a $20 bottle the same way again. And you will never need to buy one again either. So now you know what it is. Let me explain why it works, because I won't ask you to trust a recipe you don't understand, and once you do, you'll see why a saucer that costs pennies leaves a $20 bottle sitting useless on the shelf. Start with the milk and sugar. A fly does not see your kitchen the way you do. It tastes the air. A housefly smells with its antennae, and it even tastes with the tiny hairs on its feet. It is built, head to toe, to find one thing, food it can drink. It is not wandering your kitchen at random, because it is following a scent trail the way a hound follows a rabbit, pulled straight toward the strongest source in the room. And it is hunting for one thing above all others, something sweet and slightly fermenting, the smell of food beginning to break down. That warm, sugared milk sitting out is the single most attractive smell in your entire house to a housefly, more attractive than your fruit bowl, more attractive than your trash, more attractive than the dinner on your plate. You have built for about $1 the best-smelling thing in the room from a fly's point of view. That solves the door. Now for the part that does the actual work, the black pepper. Ground black pepper contains a compound called piperine. Piperine is simply the natural substance that makes pepper taste hot. To you, it's a seasoning. To a fly, eaten in the concentration it finds in that milk, it is a poison. The fly is drawn in by the sweet smell, it feeds the way it was always going to feed, and it takes in the pepper along with the sugar. It does not survive the meal. And that is why this beats a spray over the long run, because the dish is not masking a smell or repelling anything. It is turning the fly's own hunger into the thing that finishes it. Hunger does not wear off. That is the whole mechanism. Lure with the sweet, finish with the sharp. Nothing about it is complicated, and nothing about it is new. People were doing this before there was a store to sell them an alternative. And notice what it does that the bottle never could. It doesn't wait for the fly to make a mistake, because it offers the fly exactly what it wants, and then lets the fly's own appetite do the rest. You are not fighting the fly's nature. You are using it. Remember the question I left you with a minute ago, why a fly would choose the dish over your table? That's the answer. It isn't choosing your table because the dish outsmells it. Every time. You're not winning a fight. You've rigged the choice before the fly ever enters the room. One more thing about why this beats the bottle, and then I'll show you exactly how to build it. The bottle on the shelf is 1 cent, one formula, sealed at a factory a year ago. Your dish is fresh, warm, and putting out its smell right now, today, in your kitchen. To a fly, fresh always wins. That freshness is free, and it is the one thing no $20 product can ever put in a bottle. All right, here is exactly how to build it. You need 3 things, and you likely have all 3 within 10 feet of where you're standing. Milk, white sugar, and ground black pepper. A small shallow dish or saucer to hold it. That's the entire shopping list. Step 1. Pour about half a cup of milk into a small saucepan. Whole milk works best. The fat carries the smell farther. But whatever you have is fine. Warm it gently over low heat. You are not boiling it. You just want it warm, because warm milk throws off scent and cold milk barely does. 30 seconds on the stove is plenty. Step 2. Stir in 3 teaspoons of sugar and 3 teaspoons of ground black pepper. Yes, that's a lot of pepper. And yes, it's supposed to look that way. You want it heavy, almost muddy. Stir until the sugar dissolves and the pepper is suspended through it. Total active time so far, maybe 2 minutes. Step 3. Pour it into your shallow dish and set the dish where the flies gather, but the family doesn't. A windowsill. The back of a counter, a shelf by the door. Shallow matters. A fly needs to land at the edge and walk in. A deep cup, it just circles. Keep it away from children and pets, and I'll say more about that in a moment. That's it. 3 ingredients, 3 steps, about 2 minutes of work, and somewhere between 50 cents and $1 of milk and pepper, depending on what you paid for them. Now, a few things I've learned over 50 summers of doing this that nobody puts on a recipe card. Refresh it every 2 days. The milk will sour, and a soured dish loses its pull, and frankly, it starts to smell. A fresh dish every other day is the difference between a trap that works all season and one that works for a weekend. Use more than one in a big room. 1 saucer covers a small kitchen well. For a porch or a barn, set out 3 or 4 spaced apart so no fly is ever far from the nearest one. They're $1 between them. Spread them out and give it time. This is the part people get impatient with, so listen close. You will not walk away and come back to a dish full of flies in 10 minutes. This works over hours and days, quietly thinning the population batch by batch. The bottle promised you instant. The dish promises you gone. There's a difference. And gone is the one you actually want. If you want to make it stronger, here's the one upgrade I'll give you. Add a single drop of dish soap to the milk. Just 1. It breaks the surface tension, so a fly that lands to feed can't stand on top of the liquid. It goes straight in. The pepper handles the ones that feed and leave. The soap handles the ones that land to drink. Between the two, very little gets back out the door. So to keep it simple, that's your whole method. Warm the milk, load it heavy with sugar and pepper. Set it low and shallow where they gather, 1 drop of soap if you want the strong version, and refresh it every second day. Under $1. 2 minutes. No bottle, no strip, no spray truck, no chemical company on a monthly plan. You will have built, with 3 things from your own kitchen, a better fly trap than anything you could carry out of the store. And you'll have done it for roughly 1/20th of the price. Now, I want to be honest with you about what this does not do, because I won't tell you something works better than it does. That's not how trust gets built. First, the safety part I promised. This dish is not poison to you, but it is not a snack either. 3 teaspoons of pepper in milk will make a child sick to the stomach and can do worse to a small dog or a cat. So set it where they cannot reach it, high or behind something. This is the one rule I won't soften. A trap that hurts your own household is not frugal, it's foolish. Second, and this is the big one, this dish kills the flies you already have. It does not stop new ones from being born. If flies keep coming back day after day, the dish is doing its job, but something nearby is still breeding them. A forgotten bag of trash, a pet mess in the yard, a drain that needs scrubbing. A trap is treatment. Cleaning up the source is the cure, and no dish on the windowsill changes that. Third, I'll be straight with you. On a calm day in a small kitchen, this works wonderfully. In a barn in August with manure and heat and 1,000 flies an hour, it helps, but it is not magic. And anybody who tells you a saucer of milk will clear a livestock barn alone is selling you something. It is one good tool. It is not the only tool you'll ever need. I'd rather you trust the dish for exactly what it is than oversell it and lose you. It's cheap, it's effective, it's honest, and it has limits like everything honest does. So here's the part I think about every time I walk past the pest aisle at the hardware store. Remember early on I told you the bottle was designed to be repurchased. Here's what I meant. That dish on my windowsill costs me, at the very most, $1. And most of that dollar I'd already spent on groceries. Call it a few cents per refresh. Over a whole summer, maybe $4. Now look at the other side. A single hanging fly bag runs $12 to $20 and lasts a few weeks. A can of spray, $8 to $10, and you'll go through several. The strip by the door, $5, and it browns out by midsummer. A homeowner serious about flies easily spends $60, $80, $100 across one season. And next year the shelf is full again and you start over. And here's the quiet part of it. Every dollar of that is a dollar that didn't have to be spent. Money walking out of households that in a lot of cases are counting every dollar to begin with. Multiply that. There are around 130 million homes in this country. If even a fraction of them spend $50 a summer fighting flies the expensive way, that is billions of dollars every single year flowing toward a problem your great-grandmother solved with a dish of milk. That is the part nobody is going to put in an ad. There is no company on earth that profits from you learning the dollar version. There's no marketing budget behind a saucer. Nobody gets rich teaching you to need them less. So the knowledge just quietly disappeared, not because it stopped working, but because it stopped being profitable to repeat. You were never told because telling you doesn't sell anything. That's the whole reason a thing this simple got forgotten in the first place. I remember one summer when I was maybe 7 years old, sitting at my grandmother's kitchen table in that same farmhouse I live in now. It was July, hot, the windows open, and the flies were bad. They always were on a farm. I asked her why she didn't just swat them. She didn't even look up from the beans she was snapping. She just nodded toward the windowsill, where a little white dish sat catching the light. I went and looked. I'll be honest, it was not a pretty sight, but it was full, and the rest of that kitchen, where we ate, where she cooked, where I was sitting, was clear. She'd never said a word about it. She didn't think it was clever. To her it was just what you did, the way you'd salt meat or bank a fire. Knowledge so ordinary it didn't need explaining. She's been gone 40 years now. And it took me most of my life to understand that the little dish on her windowsill was worth more than every product I ever carried home from a store, because hers was paid for once, by knowing, and theirs you pay for forever, by not. I think about her every July when I warm the milk and reach for the pepper. Same window, same dish, same light. The only thing that's changed is that now I'm the one who has to remember to teach it, because the store certainly won't. So here's what I want you to do this week. Tonight, find a small dish. Tomorrow, warm a half cup of milk with 3 teaspoons each of sugar and pepper, 1 drop of soap. Set it where the flies gather and refresh it Thursday. Then come tell me something specific in the comments. I want to know which room in your house the flies hit worst. The kitchen, the porch, the bathroom, because that tells you where they're breeding, and I read every one. Next time, I'm going to show you the one thing in almost every kitchen that is quietly breeding those flies in the first place. And you will not believe where it is, because the people who built this country with their hands knew things we are only just starting to remember.